Hi everyone. So we are going to use these two methods like index post and search. Index post is just calling the index method and the search is calling just a search method. And the payload is kind of simple, the index which we are looking for and the body. Okay, we have these two methods and one method which we have already created, which is a create index. Now it is create index will create the index on the bootstrap of the application. Okay, now we have index post, like you wanted to add a record to the post index, and the search, and these both the methods we are going to call from our main services, right? So let's say this is a search service we can inject inside our domain module. We have the services post service, here we will inject it and we will use it here. So we will say private read only, and we have this particular service which we are importing, and we are actually going to call these respective methods. Like search service is there, so we should be able to import this. Now we can actually call this dot search service dot something. Okay, what a quick fix alignment. So we can actually call this dot search service while you are actually creating this. So get by this, and here we have the create method. Okay, once you are actually saving this new user, okay, here we can do the magic. This dot search service dot, now we will define the method which we are going to call. This dot search service dot, we have two methods, create index and index post we are going to call, and we will pass the payload, right? So here is our user object, and this is what we are returning, and this user object we can pass into this. So this is what we need to do. It's actually new, not new user, it's a post. Just rename it. Just a naming, because we are copying the code from the old project. That is the only thing, and we are passing the post and we are returning it also. Now the name conflict is there, so we'll just convert it into a post data. Yeah, so here now we are calling it. So whenever you are creating the record, you will also index it inside our Elasticsearch service, and this is async, so we'll just put it await. And when you are actually searching this, so let's say you are searching, so you can actually simply call this particular method. I mean, I'm not writing it directly here, but we have another method which is, I think, search. Let's see what we are searching. Simply search, right? It takes only the text as an input, right? So search, we can actually pass the title or whatever we are receiving. For now, let's say test, or the title we are receiving from here. So our search method will totally change. Public async search, and we just need to call this method directly and return the data. Okay, what we will do is, first we will get the results. Const results equal to this dot, we have this particular service, search service dot search, and we will pass the text which we are getting for the search. Okay, you will get the result set. Okay, and you will just return that result set. I mean, you can actually do the fallback if you are getting the IDs from that result set. If that length is null, then return empty. That means you have to fall back to the database logic, right? Then you will be calling the database and all these things. But for me, this is fine. because always we are going to have a data in our Elasticsearch. So you can return this directly, public async search data, let's say, and we are getting the text. Okay, a simple method. Our service is calling the Elasticsearch service and giving us the data. What else we need? And here we are already creating this data into the Elasticsearch, right? So we are actually synchronizing the data whenever we are creating. So similarly, we can also write the update and delete whenever you are actually removing a particular index. Then we can also remove it. Now the remaining thing is just fix our controllers, call this particular service, add few more methods. Let's say I wanted to also delete something, right? Delete by query. So you can add that in the Elasticsearch service, delete method. Like you have a post ID and based on that you wanted to delete. So index post, here we can have another method, public async remove, and we have yes service, and we are getting this index from the config value, and in the body you will specify which particular ID you are trying to delete, right? So this delete method also you can actually call whenever you are doing a typeorm delete. You will just have a post ID, you are deleting the data by post ID, you just call this search service dot remove and pass the post ID, and it will help us to delete, right? So we are actually synchronized. When you are creating, we are creating in Elasticsearch. When you are deleting, we are deleting from the Elasticsearch. And simply search, this can be customized. This is a particular query. This can be customized based on your need, what you want, right? If you want a simple auto populate, right, auto complete search kind of thing, you just pass the title, because title supports auto complete, right? If length is greater than 2 characters, you just keep calling the search method and get the result set. And here, because you have seen the response from the Elasticsearch, it's like a big JSON where you have the hits, and from the hits you get the actual response object, and in that response object you also need to iterate onto that array and get the source values. That is the actual response. So this kind of transformer you always need to write whenever you are getting the response from the Elasticsearch. Okay, so that's it. What we will do is I will just clean up these controllers and services, and in the next video we will see the end-to-end demo, how the search is happening, how the create is happening, and how we are getting the data. Okay, thanks everyone.